Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Thursday the 27th of March and in this educational video there's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. It is for educational purposes only. I have to say that there will be no update tomorrow as I will have other engagements, so I can't make it. So this will be the last one this week, so we'll dig a little bit deeper here. We'll start with Tesla. That got sold off about 6% yesterday. Turned around just above the support here at 269. I think it will drop further here in the coming days, and a retest of the 214 and a change support here. If it takes out the peak there on the 25th of March at 288.20. If it takes out to the upside, then we could see it push up to 302, 300, maybe 325, but I think we will see a downtrend to resume. Nvidia, massive sell-off yesterday, also 6% lower. Didn't even get up to the resistance there. Still negative sentiment on the RSI. If RSI closes below 40 threshold, then expect a further downside push towards 102, 100, maybe even lower. And also Meta formed like a top and reversal pattern here. We had a doji the day before yesterday, bullish move here, and then a negative yesterday, and that is a top and reversal pattern. Normally you see that in an uptrend, but still it's also very much alive here. So it didn't even get out to test the resistance area here around 640, 41. Negative sentiment, and if RSI closes back below 40 threshold, it will confirm further downside. It could push it below the 575 level that it saw here about a week ago. S&P 500 formed a top and reversal pattern. We had a doji the day before yesterday, before the massive sell-off here, so there was a little bit a maybe warning. Tested the resistance here at 5,783, a bullish day the day before. So we have a doji, doji evening star or evening doji star pattern here. Top and reversal, closed below minor support at 57.15. I think we will see further selling pressure here the coming days. It needs to close above this doji there, 5,787, to demolish that for a push higher towards 5,900. So I think we'll see a downtrend to resume. We have Nasdaq 100, massive sell-off also yesterday, almost 2% lower. Rejected here. It didn't even touch the 200 moving average, back below the minor support here at 19,943. Could push lower in the coming days, especially if RSI moves back below 40 threshold. It's already negative sentiment. Didn't even get up to the 60 threshold. Got rejected here at the midpoint around 50. So downtrend is likely to resume. It needs to take out and move above the 200 moving average to push higher. The Dow Jones index has fared a little bit better, was only down 0.3%, bouncing a little bit pre-market, tried to close the gap up to 42,928, but fails. I think it will also slide lower, and if it takes out 42,000, then downtrend is resuming. EuroStoxx got also hit a little bit yesterday. It actually formed this bearish engulfing here, and normally you see it in the top and in a top, but this is also a bad signal. So I think maybe we could see it pushing lower in the coming days. Still key support 52.85 down here. We have the cloud support, we have the 55 moving average, but it doesn't look too good at the moment for a EuroStoxx50 on DAX. Also got sold off a little bit. Engulfed the previous day's candle, which is a little bit of a bad signal. Didn't even get up to test the double top like pattern here at 23,476. I think we could see further selling down to these low levels here in the region of 22,225 area. Key support here at 22,148. That could be tested here in the coming days and going into next week. On the FX front, we have euro dollar very close this morning to test the 200 moving average and the 38.2 retracement at 107.27. bouncing around this 107.60 support level here. I think we will see your dollar bouncing here the next few days, and start moving back towards 109 and these peaks here. However, if it takes out the 200 moving average, maybe it could continue low, but I think we'll see a bounce from here, especially if we get the RSI back above 60 threshold. Cable sterling dollar, still in correction phase, but already found some bids before it got down to the 38.2 retracement of 128.40. Could still dip down to 128 level where we have the 200 moving average and some support, but it seems like it's finding bids already now, but keep an eye on it. Could still take us lower. Euro sterling selling pressure has continued. Let's see if it takes out the 100 moving average and the lows from yesterday. I think we could see a push down to the 61.8 retracement at 83.20. Will it bounce from there? And will RSI bounce from 40 threshold, or will it close below? If it does close below, it will indicate further selling pressure and downtrend towards the 786 retracement at 82.85. If it bounces off both levels there and starts moving back above the 83.75, then uptrend is to resume. Dollar yen still dancing around below the 38.2 retracement and resistance at 151.25. Will it touch it or will it not? RSI still negative, hasn't even touched the 60 threshold. If it does close above, then it can mean further upside, but as we can see, we talked about it for days. The 100 moving average coming down there, 55 crossed below it, and give it a couple of days. Maybe not this week, but early next week we'll see the 55 breaking below the 200, and that is not a bullish signal, that is a bearish signal, and I think we'll see dollar yen turning around and to go back to test the 148.60, 65 support and possibly lower. Euro yen quite volatile around the falling trend line here, above 161 and below the 200 moving average, and it really needs to take out that to the upside 163 and a change to the upside for a push to 165. If it starts sliding lower below the 160.70, these lows here, then expect the selling pressure to resume. There is still positive sentiment on the RSI indicating we could see higher highs, but I want confirmation. I want RSI back above 60, and I want a euro yen back above 163. The Aussie yen, well, to further confirm, or to confirm an uptrend, it needs to take out a 95.75 and RSI needs to close above 60 threshold. I think we will see it sliding lower, also given that we have all moving averages declining. So the underlying trend is bearish, and let's just quickly look at the weekly chart to see what's going on. Well, key support here at 91.80 could once again be tested. Sterling yen rejected once again several times here at 194.85, and that is a key resistance. I think if it takes out 195, then it can stay above and then push higher. Other than that, I think we will slide lower. And looking also here at the moving average, all declining, could be that we will slide back towards the 192 level. Aussie dollar still trading in this triangle-like pattern, so I want to see breakout before direction. Your guess is as good as mine at the moment. We have moving average, the 100 come down here, but the 55 rising, so it's kind of tucked in between those more or less. Direction, I think we will see it to the downside, but I'm not sure about that. I want to see a break of 62.50 to confirm downside breakout. Dollar Canada trying to get back above the rising trend line, but is currently below the 100 moving average and could continue lower. However, we do have positive sentiment on the RSI still after being above 60 threshold. It needs to close below 40 before it confirms bearish trend with a push down to 141.50 area. If it starts getting back above here and take out the 144, then a bullish trend is to resume. But as you can see, the 55 moving average kind of pushing it down, whereas the 100 pushing it up. So there's a battle going on between the two medium-term trend lines, or sorry, moving averages. Sterling Canada touched the 38.2 retracement yesterday at 183.45 and then bounced, and I think we will see it continue bouncing. And what I will do, I will add a Fibonacci retracement so just get an idea where it could possibly bounce to. I think we could see a push up to the 61.8 retracement and 186.14, possibly up to 786 retracement here in this region here. Could be. If it takes out the lows from yesterday, then I expect to sell off down to 182, possibly lower. EURUSD testing minor support at 94.90 this early morning. I think it will bounce, and what I will then do, I will also add a Fibonacci to this one, and you can do it yourself. So you can add it to that, and we should see a bounce possibly up to the 61.8 retracement, just around 96. However, if it takes out the lows from this morning, then expect a push down to 94.5, where we have the 200 moving average giving some support. The dollar Swiss just basically doing nothing, dancing sideways here in very tight range. Needs to take out 88.65, or it needs to take out 87.55 for a breakout direction. And finally, on dollar index has bounced fairly strongly, but it seems to be losing some steam. Hasn't even reached the 200 moving average and the 38.2 retracement, 104.65. So it is a little bit weak, but it could still bounce up there. It also, I think, depends on what your dollar will be doing. So maybe it will resume a downtrend. If RSI moves back below 40, threshold closes below, then expect downtrend to resume. Gold is again finding bids, as we can see here. So maybe the correction has been over. Still, if it takes out the lows here, 2,999, expect a selling down to around 29.70, 29.55 area, where we have some support. But if it takes out 3,057.5, which was the previous all-time high, expect a push up to 3,100 at least. The silver bounced strongly, testing the 786 retracement just below 34. So it could resume uptrend if it takes out 34.25, the previous peak here. Then expect a push up to 35.25 is in the cards. Let's see about copper. That was a bit what we call a shooting star. It shoot up and then collapsed. So a shooting star. And if we get a negative day today, then we have a top and reversal pattern in place, and that could very, very well be. So if we assume that is the thing going on, we should see a sell-off down to at least 504 here at the 38.2 retracement, where we have some support. But we could also see it collapsing all the way down to 483. If it takes out the shooting star peak there at 537.40, well, then there is potential much higher to 557, 557, which is 200% of this correction there. Okay, moving on to energy and Brent crude oil here on the daily. Let's zoom in and see what's going on. We see RSI got rejected at 60 threshold. I know it touched it yesterday, but since it closed a little bit lower there after peaking higher, that could be a turning point. But let's see about that. Didn't really touch the 61.8 retracement of the last leg down there at 70.45. If it starts moving lower and takes out 68.45, then downtrend is to resume. But for now, we are still in a fairly strong bounce. Further upside just need to be confirmed by RSI closing above 60 threshold. The Brent crude oil got up to and above the 61.8 retracement. You can see here RSI also got rejected at the 60 threshold, and maybe that was it. But if we do get a close above the 100 moving average, that kind of putting a lid on it there, at 74.25, well, then we could see a push higher to 75.25, possibly even higher. But as you can see, also the 200 moving average coming down, kind of giving a pressure to the downside. The Euro gas, TTF gas, well, if it takes out the 40 euros, then I think we'll see a sell-off down to 38 and 36, 37 level. The Henry Hub US Nat gas also slowly sliding lower. It's still a 374 support, and the cloud support here, that is key. And of course RSI, if it does close below 40 threshold, then we are on a negative trend. US 10-year Treasury yields again yesterday tested 435, 436 resistance. If it can't really push above it, well, I know it spiked a little bit above, but we really need a push to get up to the 61.8 retracement at 444. We also still have some resistance at 440. So key is also what will happen with the RSI. Still negative sentiment, needs to close above 60 threshold for further upside potential. Of course, we all want lower yields, and if it starts sliding lower below the rising trend line here, we could see a push down to 425 again, and maybe downtrend to resume. The 2-year Treasury yield, well, still in this range here between 405 and 385, so not much to say really. On the European yields, stepping sideways a little bit here on the Euro 10-year without direction, still potential up to the 294. Positive sentiment, no divergence, indicating we are likely to see higher levels. But for now, it seems like it needs to have something to ignite it to push back higher. So it could still slide lower to below 270. Keep an eye on that. The UK 10-year didn't get up to the 481. Needs to take out this spike up there at 479 to establish and resume a bullish trend. Probably will stay above this rising trend line there. And then finally on Bitcoin, stalling a little bit. Maybe it won't get up to the 1991,000 level. We have the 55 moving average coming down there. So if it starts sliding lower below the 83,000, then downtrend is resuming. Ethereum rejected at 2100, and the falling trend line there could test the lows once again if it starts sliding lower here, and it doesn't look too strong. It really needs to get back and close above 2125 level. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and a nice weekend when you get to that, and talk to you again Monday.